Hi everyone, Paul Morbid here, Morbid Team Entertainment and Bolex Repair Philippines. Going to show you a few tips of how you can check your Bolex H16 if you have any type of flakes and shreds of film inside when you first get it or when you get it back from servicing from a technician. Alright, so let's get started into that. Okay, so the first thing, and the very first thing I want to tell you is make sure that you don't go in here and try to repair anything if you've just received your Bolex back from a technician, because it will void the warranty, okay? Because you want to go ahead and send it back, alright? And don't dismantle it, of course. Don't remove the turret. Don't do anything like that. You want to send it back to the technician. However, if you do have a old roll of film, you can run it through and that type of thing. If it's you can run it back through. What you want to do is this: make sure that the spool of film here and here are seated properly, okay? Up here you want to make sure everything's clicked in, so if you take your spool right here, make sure you put it in there, and you want to make sure that's seated properly down in there. So let's get this down in there. Make sure that's down, just like that. You want to make sure it's all the way down, seated firm, seated properly, and that's all flat. Make sure everything looks just like this. See how this is? Okay. You want to make sure it's like that on both spools. Okay. Pop that up. Check your spools here and here. Make sure there's no foreign bodies. Make sure the spool's not defective. Check the spool around. Make sure it's not warped. Anything like that. Okay? Generally, the issue is this. Let me see if I can get closer in for you. If you get your Bolex, if your Bolex is started, if you get it back from a technician, or if you've just gotten it off any online market and you have some film shavings when you ran a roll through there, okay, these two posts right here for the film guides, they need to be level, alright, and they're being shaved up under here more than likely, or through here, but most likely either the loop formers up or up under here. So turn it, look down here, check the sprockets, okay, at the end of my pencil eraser. See if you've loaded your film properly. Check your basics. Okay, make sure you close your loop formers. Okay, make sure you do that. Remember, the film plate will not go back on because everything in this camera is aligned properly. That's the way the camera is designed. That film door will not go back on here unless everything's aligned properly. So usually, unless something's really off on it, you know. So check under here the film sprockets. Turn it up. Check up under here. Okay. Up under there. Make sure and check and see if your film is even and aligned. Alright? That's another thing to do. So, as I turn it to the side right here, what's happening is you can take a micro screwdriver, okay, and unscrew just to the point here and here to where you can see the film claw. Okay. So if I were to do this, remove this claw plate off. I've got two very tiny screws. Alright. There you go. So check in here, because if that thing right there, if these are off, if these two guides are off right here, and you got film shavings, you know, go ahead and do a basic cleaning. You can do that at least, because more than likely you have film shavings. Alright? But anything beyond that, don't do it. You're going to void your warranty more than likely. You've probably got film shavings in here around the claw, and this claw spring, it can get damaged, so don't film anything else. If you're filming on set, don't film anything else for that day. It's time to send this camera back to the technician. Something has been left and misaligned, you know, that type of thing, and that's as simple as that. Alright, let's see if we can get a little bit closer. And I'm going to put this back on. It generally does not go back on as easy as it came off. But I'm going to do this on my own and get back to you. And again, what you don't want to do is dismantle your camera. Okay? But whatever you do, and if you decide to go in and do some type of repair or something, which you don't, whatever you do, and if you damage your camera upon your person, it's all on you. So if don't remove the turret or anything. Here again, send this camera back to a technician, because something's out of alignment, and it's generally these two posts right here, one or the other. Okay? But I'll show you this inside the turret. The technician is going to have to dismantle the camera. The turret will have to be removed. Everything in here will have to be cleaned. All that film and under where the claw is, that will have to be cleaned. The area inside here of the turret will have to be cleaned. Alright. Open up the ground glass. This area will have to be cleaned. And I want to show you really close here. You see up under here, with my pencil eraser at the end of it, there are two thin glass elements. In between that will possibly have to be cleaned as well. Alright? Because as those shutter blades spin, they can spit all those pieces of film up inside of there. Anytime you have something like that, it's a real mess. Okay? This will have to be dismantled and cleaned. All that. And a seal. The seal will have to be removed, cleaned, and reapplied here to the body of the camera. The timing of the shutter and pull down of the claw had to be reset, and then this reapplied. Okay? So it's a lot to it for just such a small thing like that. Okay? And something for you as the customer not to mess with. Alright? So there you are. The issue is mainly going to be right in here with one of these two posts. Generally miss out of alignment. If not, you haven't checked your basics and made sure your loop formers are closed. The film has been seated properly. The spool is not damaged. There's no foreign bodies here, anything like that. Okay? And these are things to consider and think about right there before jumping to any type of conclusions. Alright? So do check that as well. There aren't too many Bolex technicians around. And so that's another issue as well. Everyone's getting kind of overloaded on work, I would suppose. And that seems to be it. Do contact me at the social media outlets provided on the screen. And remember, as always, do subscribe. And as always, see ya!